And so I'm looking forward to seeing what they can actually get done as we get onto the rift here for Vietnam versus C9. Match 13 here in the KeSPA Cup. I can't believe it's already been 13 games already. 9 yesterday does put a very large number already on the table. 4th of the day here, and we have 5 more afterwards. It is a marathon, and it is so fantastic to be able to have so many teams meeting here at the KeSPA Cup. All right, let's see whether Sven can get some work done towards Puddin here, but he's not quite able to do so. Slurkle value.
Because Puddin has barrier, I don't think Vulcan wants to go in there. Oh no!
Dear. Shilong, unfortunately, taking 2 turret shots, and there's the flash in from Vulcan. And first blood over to Sven. I think that, like, Vulcan, he is obviously the one that played it very, very well. Sven's usage of the emotes, absolutely gorgeous.
That was the best
Checking
part.
it out once again. Double Pulverize does come on through, but now there's a VIE as Guri shows up, and Vulcan is going to be dead. The Valkyrie, I don't think that's going to be enough. The flash out those from Sven will be able to keep him alive, as now Seismic Shove connects. Another Zenith Blade is there. A fair bit of damage coming on through, and down goes the Leona, but it's 2 dead on the other side. Blabber now with this Cyclone, not quite able to get the work done, as it is going to be a kill onto the Victor.
So this is such an important fight here.
Yeah, they do have double Trinity Force though, and now they've even managed to catch out the jungler. Cease and desist, not exactly going to be acquiesced at all here as Shulong needs to try and get himself out. Seismic Shove going to miss, but he has to flash to get himself out of the way. As Puddin, I'm not sure about that one, but APA is left out to dry. So in the end, it is going to be a 1-for-1 as now Vulcan might make it 2 here as he is forced to flash out of the way.
Game is not over by any means, but now the pressure is on them. The ball is in their court, and Team Vietnam can continue to kind of go for that coast plan. As Guri finds the angle on APA.
Yeah, there is the cease and desist. As APA going to have to get himself out of there. Tries to surrender, but unfortunately, he's going to have to start roaming up if he wants to be there for some sort of fight. As Guri spotted on a ward, but the control ward does immediately go down. And Puddin, they're moving into position. Vietnam, they do want to fight for this one. Zenith Blade is going to connect, but Vulcan is not the target they're looking for. Solar Flare does nothing, and that is going to be APA getting some revenge here onto the Vietnamese squad. Kati is moving down. He is very scary as the teleport does come in. That came up for Kratos before Thanatos was able to get there, but finally makes his way up on this Rek'Sai. It's going to make it a 4 versus 5 in favor of C9, and that is Blabber locking down the smite on this Herald. Really nicely done there as the ulti comes through from the Scion, as the Cyclone is the answer from Blabber. It looks way better as they take down the Scion here. Puddin now in so much trouble, and it's Thanatos that locks down that kill. C9 just demolishing Vietnam in the fight. As Kratos now moving up, does get headbutted back, but there's the cease and desist. Sven not going to be able to flash out of the way of that one, but the wall is going to be set up, and Guri just a little too far forward, and the Cyclone is something that Kati just teleported into. You don't really like to see that. Does immediately have to flash away.
Maybe on the cards, this one pesky ward actually still alive here.
Yeah, I think it's actually really, really smart. I think C9 need to be pushing the envelope as much as they can. These 2-item spikes we were talking about, they're here. They are so incredibly strong at this point in time. Vietnam, are they going to be strong enough to try and contest this as Guri is being held away from this fight potentially? As Kratos just moves up, he is a brick wall, but APA going to split the fight with the Weaver's wall. The wall blocks everything off as Guri gets in there. So much damage to come through here, but the Cyclone answer is so good, and Blabber takes down the Otacon at the same time. Kratos being a menace, but not for too long, as the Void Rush from Thanatos is going to say goodnight to the Yunara, and once again...
It doesn't feel like an even trade at all, so we're going to see a pretty safe TP from Kati here as they look to try to contest this dragon. Shulung in trouble.
Yeah, Sven over here to try and do that DPS as Guri does find a great ultimate, but it's a 2-for-1 in the end. Blabber does go down. Kati is doing a fair bit of work, but Sven still dishing out the damage. Vulcan getting in amongst it as APA takes a wall ride towards the rest of Vietnam, Puddin trying to just kite this one out, and it's actually kind of working as Thanatos able to get out of the way.
The follow-up is pretty self-explanatory. Oh boy.
That's a good old face check here as APA is just dead.
He was the hero of the replay, but in live, the teleports for Team Vietnam not necessarily going to matter that much because they're all grouped up here in mid.
Oh boy. Here's the engage angle. The wall's going to split it off once again. There's only 3 over this side of the battle, and that fast bomb did so much work. Sven is just tearing them to shreds. Down goes both of the tanks. And so I think that scaling conversation, that one's done. Puddin also may be done as well as APA Likely taking more damage than he would otherwise have wanted to, but Sven's got an auto attack, and that is an explosion as the Inara goes down. That is precisely the champion that Vietnam didn't want dead. As the train has left the station, APA could just die, but the seismic shove is too good. Sven will have the damage to take down the tank, as there are knockups everywhere here from Blabber on this monkey, but he will still be dying, as Guri is going to be able to finish that one off. Still, Thanatos is in the enemy base, guys, and he is going to be able to take down at least one of these Nexus turrets and may just win the game. As they're looking to stop these backs, I think they will be able to do so.
Kati is going to be able to show up here, but can he kill Thanatos? I don't think so. I think Thanatos just killed him.
So that he can be in the picture as Thanatos does that cool flash over the Nexus thing, as we've seen in so many of these backdoor videos. And in comes Sven to finish that one off. C9 managed to take down Vietnam and move to 2-1 in the group.
And they had so many chances to, for example, pick APA and try to do something with that. But they spent the entire time just sitting back on their scaling and waiting for something to happen. And C9 were proactive. They did not play into Team Vietnam's hands, and they were just the better team.
Yeah, they made it happen. I think my vote's going to APA. I know it's weird. It doesn't make sense, but his walls were so good in this game.
It makes sense. I think you could vote for almost anybody here, honestly.